Welcome to the Resilient Mindset Podcast, an exciting new podcast by Resilience Queen, Justine Martin. Justine is the owner and founder of the Resilient Mindset, a division of the Justine Martin Corporation. Justine draws on her years of experience and knowledge consulting with clients to develop and sustain a positive mindset. Focused on igniting your passion, purpose and power, follow the Resilience Queen each week as she delves into the mind of her guests, exploring fascinating stories and inspiring journeys.
Founder and CEO of Author Academy, Sue Kennedy Publishing, Author Academy Bookstore and Healing with Art. With over 3 decades of book coaching, publishing, speaking and most importantly, real life in the trenches business experience, Sue's view is radically different. Sue, sometimes referred to as the people whisperer for her coaching skill that brings out the best in people, is known for her practical, street savvy style. Sue shares her success and guides others through her 5-step unique process to write and publish their book. She has a diploma in art therapy, neuro graphical special coach, and she is an international intuitive coach artist. With these, she has brought them together to create her own unique program to empower others. Welcome back, everyone out there in podcast land. Today with me, I've got Sue. How are you, Sue?
I'm great, Justine. How are you?
Oh, I'm a bit cold actually today. Let's be honest. We're in Australia. I'm in Victoria and I am freezing today.
We
What
had
about you?
we had -2 this morning
Are you in? Where are you located?
in Sydney.
-2 in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm towards the mountains though, so
Good mountains.
yeah, I'm not on the ocean front type. I'm mountainside of Sydney. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whereabouts?
So it's a place called Grosvale, which
Yep.
is sort of Currajong,
Oh, okay. Yep.
Richmond. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I had an uncle and aunt that lived up in Currajong, so I know how fresh it gets up there. But it was quite nippy down here today. And so I can't feel my feet at this particular stage, and we're in the afternoon, so the day's not looking good. Anyway, let's get talking all things resilience. What does resilience mean to you?
Wow, it's a big word, but I think it's a person, because I relate this to me, that, and I love this quote, which I do live by, is a champion is someone who gets up when they can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I quite often use that because of, all the times that, I have, gone into a place where it has been really difficult.
Yeah.
And I've just got up and just kept going, and I just need to be strong and resilient because that's the only way forward.
Yeah, that's right. What's an adversity that you faced, and how did you draw on your personal resilience to get through it?
Okay, so there's a few different ones. The first one was I fell into a really dark hole with depression.
Yep.
And didn't even know that was what I had, because back then it wasn't spoken about as much as it is now. And it's a lot more common now. Well, it was common then, it just wasn't spoken about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd lost everything, absolutely everything, the marriage, the dog, the house, everything.
Yeah.
No money, nothing, no job. It's like, wow, this is going to be interesting. Now what am I going to do? And, no money in the bank. So it was like, wow, okay. It's, there's only one way to deal with this, and that's to go up and find something that, is going to help me through this. And I ended up, what I did was I thought, well, what is depression all about? I need to sort of know more about it. So what I did was did a heap of research to try and help myself and figure out what was going on and how I could help myself. So I did that, and then went, well, what if I turn this into a book? And then I can help others as well. So that's what I did.
Wow.
So I turned it into positive.
How did you pull yourself out of that depression? I mean, because I know from my personal experience what I did. I had depression back in 2011 and was medicated for it. And I've never been back on medication since that period of time. And I know that that doesn't suit everyone, but you've obviously, pulled yourself as well. What coping mechanisms did you use in order to do that? How did you do that?
So, I mean, thankfully it was my dogs that snapped me out of it before I actually, did the deed of committing suicide, which I was very close to doing. And I think that now looking back on it, because I have different mechanisms that I help, or tools that I help people to cope with it and deal with it, which I didn't have back then. But now when I look back at it, me doing the research and writing the book was my coping mechanism, and it
Yep.
was what was holding me and keeping me present, which is the secret. To be in the present moment
Yep.
is, because, if you're in the past or the future, that you're living there, and that's not good.
None of us can live in the future. None of us should sit in the past and
No.
be present. So, you don't have to write a book like you have, Sue, but
No.
journaling is an amazing coping mechanism to write it all down rather than carry it all in your head. Would you agree?
Exactly. Definitely. 100%. So I
Mm.
don't journal as in write in a journal. I actually paint in a journal. So I do painting as well as
Yep.
a coping mechanism. So,
You
and
and
whether,
me both. You and me both.
yeah, I love it. It's just, that's my go-to. If I'm going through something, like when I got my cancer, it was like, oh wow, okay, what am I going to do now? So I went to my art
Yep.
and just started doing the art to get me through it, which it did. It was perfect. It was the perfect thing to do. And it wasn't to create some, brilliant painting that was, I'm not going to be a famous artist. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm not going to be. Wasn't that kind of art. It was more intuitive. So it was, and you obviously understand, but putting the paint on there and just allowing whatever was coming through to go onto the canvas or the journal, and then knowing that when I looked at that, it was talking back at me. So basically it was my soul talking back at me and giving me the messages of what I needed to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's such
yeah.
a powerful thing. I mean, creating art to me is my form of meditation.
Mm.
And so I was diagnosed with MS back in 2011, and my neurologist suggested I'd find a hobby. And I was always so busy with life that life had got in the way of being me.
Mm.
And I thought, oh, one day when I've retired from work, when I'm 90 plus, I'll pick up a paintbrush and learn how to paint. Well, the universe had other ideas for me, and I did pick up a paintbrush. It did take me about 4 months after the amount of anxiety that I was experiencing at the time to even walk through a art studio door to learn how to paint. And then I just took to it like a duck to water. And I would lose myself for hours and hours and hours and hours, immerse myself in the art and sit and just do it. And then created an art studio here at my home and wanted to share back with other people on the joy and the comfort that I got out of just creating. And it
Mm.
doesn't have to be of exhibition quality. It can just be for a journal. It can just be on your walls. You can give it away. And now we teach art wellness classes here to other people with disabilities
Oh,
that come
awesome.
in just to share what I learnt and to help as many people as we possibly can. So what's been your biggest failure to date, and what did you use to get back up?
Biggest failure. I think to me it was allowing myself to get to that position of rock bottom.
Mm,
Like it was, how did that happen? How did I allow that to happen?
yeah. And
You
it
know?
creeps up, doesn't it, without you realizing?
No. And all of a sudden, man, I was sitting there with nothing. It's like, hang on a minute. What
That's
just happened?
Yeah, what choices did I just make that led me down this path? This is not the yellow brick road.
Exactly. So I just went, well, okay, I need to now get myself out of that. And so, as I said, I started doing all these things, and all of them have led me to where I am today. Where now
Get the external help.
I I did at one point get some professional help where because I thought I was fine, and I was predominantly. So I went to a psychologist, and she was amazing, and I just sat and sort of chatted, and as you do, and but it did bring up some things that I thought I had resolved,
Mm,
and so which was great because it cleared that then. But
yep.
in the end, she kept saying, "So you don't need to keep coming here. You're fine. You're actually okay. Why do you keep coming here?" I said, "I enjoy just coming to visit you and having a chat."
I've been going to counselling now for 12 years, pretty much every fortnight to 3 weeks for 12 years. And that's what keeps me grounded is, I have so many health issues and in my life and my body that I don't believe it's my family or friends role in my life to listen to me whinge every week and vent. So I go and pay someone to vent to and whinge because I don't have a partner, and so I can't offload to them. And a lot of the time you feel that they're judging you or they're not sympathetic towards you and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you know what? I'll just go and pay someone to do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they're not, they're not objective. So, they're completely on the outside, and so they can look at it from different eyes. So, yeah,
that's
I totally
yeah.
get it.
So who's your role models in resilience?
Wow. I think me.
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm going to say me because a lot of people say to me, "We cannot believe how strong and resilient you are," especially when I went through the cancer
Mm,
journey,
mm.
because everyone's like, "You're no different." And I said, "Well, why should I be?"
That's right. I mean, I had three primary cancers at once, and people were, astounded. And I don't know if they say to you, "Oh, if I got it, I wouldn't be able to do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, you would."
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
until you tested and tried, you don't know what strength that you actually have on the inside.
Oh, exactly. Well, I remember when I was first diagnosed, and my doctor said to me, "Now, your results have come back, and you've got breast cancer." And I went, "Oh, okay then." And he went, "Sue, this is really serious." I said, "Yeah, I get it." And
Mm.
he's going, "Your life is going to completely change." And I went, "No, no, it's not." And he went, "What?" I said, "No, I am still going to continue to work. I'm still going to continue to do all my exercise, my painting,
Yeah.
everything that I love to do. I'm going to continue that. The only thing that's going to change is the fact that now I have to add more time on my calendar to go to all these damn appointments that you're going to send me on for medical reasons, and it's a damn nuisance. It's an inconvenience." And he's like, "But Sue, this is serious." I said, "I know it's serious. I'm being serious as well."
I know, it's annoying, isn't it? And, like, I need to keep a planner just for my medical side of
Mm.
things with,
Mm.
I had like three cancers, two blood conditions, and the MS all at the same time,
Mm.
and I've had heart surgery. So you can imagine what
Oh,
my planner looks like, and then throw in their OTs and neurophysios and my psychologist and everything like that. It's like that's a full-time job in itself. That
yeah, it is.
yeah.
It really is, and then they make you sit there and wait for hours.
So what did you do when you had to wait? Because I know what I did.
Well, I think at the time, yeah, I think I took my computer and I would just work on my computer, and whatever needed doing, I
I
would
used to
do.
draw.
Yeah.
I still do. Now I do it on the iPad. I've swapped over to digital because it's easier when you go to hospital. And I have infusions, and so I'm always up the hospital. I'm a consumer advisor up there as well, trying to give back and improve patient care. But
Yeah.
I created the whole time through my cancer journey.
Mm.
It's sitting in there. And I can remember one particular time sitting there drawing a little bird, and oh no, it was a seahorse. And the lady next to me asked, she was a breast cancer um, patient, and she asked me how much to buy it. And
Wow.
I'm like, oh, I'll work it out. Then at the end, I gave it to her, and she wasn't going to accept it. And my daughter was there, and she goes, no, mum said that you have to have it. And she said that that moment changed her trajectory and her thought process and everything on what she was going to do with her time while she was sitting there having hours of treatment, hours of chemo. So that gave her some hope back to it as well. But yeah, I just used to sit and I'd take in heaps of stuff to do because I was often there, 6, 8 hours at a time.
Jeez.
And it's like, what am I going to do in this time? And I'd only just started building my business by that particular point. So it was, oh, well, I'm just going to draw, I'm going to paint. And
Yeah.
that would take me into that happier place, as we've
Yeah.
spoken about.
Well, the other mentors that I look up to are all the different, art, creative mentors that I've, come across in my time. They're the ones that have got me through things as well. Just,
Yeah.
being
I
able
used
to,
to have deep insights with, do you know Graham Stevenson from Colour in Your Life?
No, I don't know him.
So he passed away last year, and he was the host on Colour in Your Life. And
Right.
I had some really deep in ground conversations with him about health and how art does pull people through that whole creative space. And pardon me, he was my go to for things like that. So how do you cope with setbacks and pressure?
Yeah, good question, because I quite regularly have stressful days because I have a few businesses I run.
How
So,
many businesses do you run, Sue?
well, I've got a book printing company, I've got the Author Academy, I've got a bookstore. I have the book printing, the Author Academy, the bookstore. I also full-time carer for my mum.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I've got the art side of things as well that I do. So, yeah, it keeps me rather busy.
I can relate to that. I've got 7.
Oh, okay. Well,
We're
you
very
win.
similar too. We're very similar because I have Morpheus Publishing, Morpheus Writing Group. I'm an author. I'm an artist, but then I own a cleaning and gardening company as well, just to throw in there. My
What-
kids needed work, so let's start a business. And then I'm a keynote speaker and I'm a resilience coach and consultant, hence why you're on the Resilience Mindset podcast today. And these things keep you busy. They keep your mind active. Is
They
that
do.
how you cope with?
Yeah. Look, what I do, and this is why and if things do get a bit too much, what I do is, even if it's just like a little, let me just get out, like just a little book like this,
Yep.
where if I've got it up the right way, that helps. I then, like do
So
things.
listeners at home, you won't be able to see this, but Sue's actually showing me some of her journaling of her pictures that she's done.
Yeah. So I just, I'll pick this up and then just start doing something just to bring me back into the present and just like really completely calm
Yeah.
me down, and that just, and then I can, move forward from there.
And it doesn't have to be, drawing
No,
or
just-
writing. It could be you might have a hobby that you're actually doing at home, and that takes you into a happy place. It could be jigsaws, it could be building drones, it could be doing crosswords, whatever it is, whatever your happy thing is, that is a really good time to do to take the pressure off. I also find coping with the pressure is, writing down an A list and a B list of what has to be done straight away.
Mm.
Quite often we procrastinate and we go and do all the Bs, and the amount of time that it would have taken just to do that one thing we don't want to do, we could have smashed it out about 10 times. So
exactly.
get
And
the
it's funny.
things done first.
Well, this has been a hilarious that this is now, but I think you're the third person this week that I've said, that book by Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog.
Oh, yeah, I love that book.
Yeah.
Except for I have real frogs. So it's...
Oh, no, I wouldn't actually eat a frog.
No, no.
But, no, they're too cute. But, no, but
It's a good book.
Yeah, it's a great book because, it's that whatever that task is that you need to do that you keep putting off, do that first, get it out of the right way, and the rest is all easy after that.
Not just easier, you'll enjoy everything else that you're doing. If you've got a task that you love to do, but there's something that you're procrastinating on doing, even when you're doing that task that you like to do, you're going to be thinking about the other thing. Oh, I feel guilty because I should be doing the other thing. Just bloody get in and do the other thing first.
Exactly.
Snap it out, get it over and done with, and then back into everything else.
Exactly.
So, what's something you're doing to practice self-care? I mean, we've spoken about the art and personal wellness, but what else do you do? Is there anything else?
That's pretty much what I love to do. I love to, like the weekends are where I do my art and just relax. And, I do like to meditate and read if I get a chance to read. They're pretty much my, ways.
What are you reading at the moment?
I'm actually reading a book called, it's over there, something about the 5 elements anyway, but it's a great book.
I'm reading Transformational Speaking.
Oh, nice.
And another one about turning creative writing into nonfiction. Creative stories into nonfiction, I think it was. That's the other one that's on my Kindle at the moment.
Awesome.
2 of those. I like to put them on a Kindle. I mean, I love paper. I love a hardback, paperback book, but it's more weight to carry in the handbag when I'm going to doctor's appointments than to the hospital and that. So I take a Kindle. I've got it all on Kindle, so I can either read it on my phone, or read it on the computer, or read it on my iPad. And tried to streamline things as well.
Right.
What's your favorite movie what's your favorite movie that features a person's inner strength to get back up?
I really enjoyed Wayne Dyer's The Shift.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. Is it good? I'll have to watch.
No, it was really good. It was I don't know if it's more really about resilience, but it was about, a guy that could never see the good in anything, and then all of a sudden, Wayne Dyer sort of pushes him onto the right path, and then all of a sudden everything falls into place for him, and he turns his whole life around and he becomes a beautiful person. So it's great.
Have you seen Michael J. Fox's Still?
No.
So it's on Netflix. I'd recommend it to everyone to watch. The man is brilliant.
Oh, I love him. Yeah.
And he had Parkinson's, and he knew that he had Parkinson's for a lot longer than what he actually his press release when it came out. And he talks about, and they show in the shows on his left hand and what he had to do in order to hide it and disguise it.
Wow.
A bit like Christina Applegate with her MS as well. Just amazing. And it's a documentary, but the resilience that man shows and what he's doing for the awareness of Parkinson's, and that is,
And that's the beautiful thing about these people, that, and especially I love it. Well, I don't love that they get anything, but I love that they take their, fame and are able to actually,
bring
awareness to so many people. Yeah, it's great. I love that they do that.
Yeah. What's a quote that you live by, Sue?
The one I mentioned, champions are the ones that get up even when they can't.
Yeah. What's the job or position that you've loved the best and why?
Oh, working for myself.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I could go back to having a
And
full-time boss.
I've worked for myself for quite a while now, so
Mm.
yeah, it's working for myself. I just, I love it.
Yeah, me too. What do you love about it? Why do you love it?
Well, I don't have to rely on anyone else.
Mm.
I I love the hours because I can go, you know what, I really just don't feel like doing anything right this moment
Yeah.
in time. I'm going to sit down and have a cup of tea instead, or play with the dogs, or
Yep.
go for a walk. And of course I make sure I get things done if there's a deadline. But yeah, I love the flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I don't know if I could answer to anyone full time again.
No.
No way. No way.
When I'd lost everything, I had to get a part-time job, and I was like, geez, I don't know how I'm going to do this. How am I going to take, and it was really difficult because, I had to stay there as well. I
Mm.
couldn't just sort of go, oh, I'm just going down the street.
Would you mentally use that then as, okay, this is just a stepping stone to doing something else in the mindset, all right, this is not a permanent situation, but I need to do it at the moment.
Exactly. Then it's exactly how I thought of it, and thought, just make the most of it just while you're in there, and, make it enjoyable, because if you don't, it's going to drag out longer, and
Yeah, that's right.
it's not going to be enjoyable. So, yeah, we don't want that.
Mm-mm. What guides you to find purpose and direction in your life?
Hmm. I think just knowing that I can help others.
Yep.
I love, being that person that can guide and help others to get through whatever they're going through. Because a lot of the people that I help with writing their book are people that have gone through some kind of trauma.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, it's business owners as well, but yeah, but the people that have gone through things like, depression or cancer or anything like that, it's just, it drives me to keep going and moving forward with it, because just seeing the change that it makes to their lives is just such a gift.
Yeah. Tell me about the three most influential people in your life and how they impacted you.
So my current mentor, Kevin, he's absolutely amazing. He's my business coach, and just, yeah, uh, really, really helpful as far as, holding me accountable. I mean, most of it, I'm okay with, but it's just the fact that he's there and going, right, where are you up to? What else have we got to do? And just keeping me, moving forward with what needs to happen. So, um, I've got to say my mum. My mum's been, quite a rock, even though she doesn't fully understand what I do, but, she's always there and always cheering me on. And, I mean, I've got to say my dogs. I just lost one of my dogs a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
sorry to hear.
Yeah, thank you. It's yeah, so he was probably the main person that actually pulled me away from the suicide. So yeah, it was a bit of a, and he born on the same day as me as well.
Oh,
So yeah, a bit of a,
future? Will you get another animal?
I will, eventually I will, yeah. But I've still got my little girl, and yeah, she's
What
good.
breed are they, Sue?
Jack Russells.
I've got a little mini sausage.
Oh, nice.
And she was crying outside the door there, but because I'm having the house the hallway repainted at the moment, I think he's put her out into the other room because he probably got sick of her whinging at the door. But yeah, she's my life. She my constant companion, and she goes over and stays at the over the road when I go away for holidays. And they've had COVID, so she couldn't come home straight away this time. And it
Oh,
was I had 3 days here by myself, and it was terrible. The house was quiet because she's my constant shadow wherever
yeah,
I am. She sits at the door and waits for me to come back. That's what she's
yeah,
like.
yeah, they are.
But yeah, it felt strange not having her here.
Hmm.
So if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be?
My advice to myself would be to just follow your passion and
Yep,
stick to that, because when you do follow your passion, that is the thing that you will succeed at, because you're passionate about it.
yep,
There's no point trying to do something that you're not passionate about. It just won't work.
that's right. And it's gets you out of bed.
Yeah,
Easier to get out of bed when you're following something that you're passionate about.
exactly.
What's 3 books that you'd recommend to my audience and why? So we've already spoken about Don't Eat the Frog.
Yes, Eat That Frog is great. I hmm, I do like this one. Let me just grab it so I can give you the title, because it
Eh,
is good.
So while Sue grabs that, listeners, I'm going to talk about Audible. Quite often, I can't see enough to read the books, so I download them all and have them going in the background instead of music playing if I am creating art. Um, that it's soothing to listen to as well while you're doing housework. Have it on there in the car, and you'll soon smash through a book on Audible. Or if you're like me, I start off listening at 1 time speed, and then you have a little button that you can increase it and go up to nearly 2 times speed now. I think I can get up to some books at 1.75 and listen to them and smash them out. So a 13-hour book, comes right back down in hours. But yeah, Sue's back.
Yep. So this one's a good one. Well, the people can't see it, listeners can't see it, but The Way of the Five Seasons. But it is about the elements.
Yep.
So it's Living with the Five Elements of Physical, Emotional, and Spiritual Harmony by John
And who wrote
Kirkwood.
that? Who
John
wrote
Kirkwood.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. So it's a really, really good book. And I love this book. I love this. This is I don't know how you pronounce it. Hanukkah,
Yep.
something like that. But it's the 77 sacred symbols for balancing body and spirit.
Wow. And
And
so do you draw them?
well, what I do actually, like the way I use this book is I just sort of hold it and then just open it wherever. And then whatever comes up, I mean, it does have a picture. I mean, it's come up with community, but it's come up with this picture, which,
Is that a circle?
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
looks like a headband.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, and then of course I read the meaning of it, and then sometimes I will put that into my journal and then just write about what that means for
Mm.
me.
Symbols are powerful. I mean, I've got a symbol tattooed on me, a couple of them actually. I've got the Zebu angelic symbol for embrace life behind my left ear.
Oh,
And then I
beautiful!
have the Celtic triple infinity knot, which to me represents myself and my 2 children locked together for life. And they both have the same tattoos on them as well. So all 3 of us have the triple infinity knots. The symbols are
Oh,
important, and quite
yeah.
often, you might see the same symbol all the time. A lot of people will see 1111, for example. And I know I do. And every time I look at my phone and it says 1111, I screenshot it and I can go back through and search 1111 and all these screenshots will come up from it. So symbols are powerful.
They are. Numbers are, and when you see the numbers, as you say, the same as if you see a certain thing, like if you see a dragonfly
Mm.
hanging around for a few days. Like I always look up.
Because I was doing a session with my business coach a long time ago now, and we're trying to work out. I was trying to work out what my purpose was going forward, and it turned around that it was hope. I give other people hope. And then all of a sudden it hit me. So I'm in my office, and if you're watching the vlogcast, you're going to be able to see this. But if not, I'm going to describe what this is. Now, it's a stone, an artificial stone, that statue that my daughter gave me a long time ago. And I'm just going to turn it around, and you can see
Wow,
that it's a
dragonfly.
dragonfly with hope written on it. And because when I said, I think it's hope, and then I looked up and here it was above me, and I'm like, I'm surrounded by it and didn't even know, because then on my arm, I don't know if you can see this one,
Oh, beautiful. Yep.
is another tattoo of a dragonfly, because I've got the kiss goodbye to MS lips, which are on the radial artery on my left wrist, which means kiss goodbye, but also means kiss of life, because it is on the radial artery. And then next to it, I have this dragonfly, which I drew the original one with watercolor. And through the center of the body is not the body, but a paintbrush. And if I hadn't got MS, I would never have learned how to paint. And therefore, everything else has come from that, and give people hope. And it was sitting in front of me the whole time. I just didn't realize that it was. So, sometimes these signs are around us and our subconscious is taking them in, but we may not actually realize.
This is why we need to just stop and really be present and be aware of what is in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. So, Sue, what's one question that you wish that I'd asked you, and how would you have answered?
I kind of covered most of it, but maybe it's how I got into becoming a book coach.
Yeah.
And the way was because of, the near suicide attempt. And then from that, then getting to write that book, writing other books. And then, from that I ran workshops, and then, of course, turned that into the business I have today. I mean, I would never have thought that this is what I was going to do. If you would have told me, I would have laughed at you. But and now I just coach others to be able to do it as well, to help them heal and get the book written. But not even about the writing of the book. It's about healing and helping, you heal the wound that you've got.
That's right. And things will come up when you're writing those books that, as I coach people as well, I've got a big anthology book at the moment going ahead with 25 authors who all have MS. So that'll launch in September. And, for some of them, we live with this every day, but and it's put me further into counselling as well, from what's come up in writing it and doing that project. So, but it's a healing process in doing it. It's not a bad process. It's a healing process, and you come out stronger and with more knowledge at the other side of it. So
exactly, yeah.
All right. So now some quirky questions. If you won $10 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on?
I would buy property where I could build my house and a retreat, so that I could run retreats and workshops, and others could come and run workshops and retreats from there as well.
Nice. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Ooh, I love Australia, but I would also buy a house in Hawaii.
Oh, nice. I haven't been to Hawaii.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, cool. We've got Bali and Ireland this year, 2 writing retreats I'm off to, but Hawaii might have to be next year. That's warm. Hawaii is warm. We like warm.
Yes.
Okay. Pineapple and pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yay, I knew we could be friends. It's like we're soul sisters, Sue. What's your favourite subject in school and why?
Ooh. Wow. Actually, I don't know if I really had I did like English, however, the English teacher didn't like me. But maybe I'll say English.
I was in the lowest English class.
Yeah, I was.
It astounds me now that I'm an author.
Yeah.
Because I failed. I used to get E's, D's and E's in English. I've still got my reports. I should find them and then do a social post. Don't listen to your teachers at school, because you can still achieve things even if they say you can't. So.
Oh yeah, well mine said to me, "You'll never amount to anything, Sue," and I thought, "I'll show you."
Mine told me I needed to keep my mouth shut long enough to listen, and and then it's like, okay, well now I'm a paid professional speaker, so weren't you wrong?
Yeah, so lucky I did that.
Yeah, we're also told that you got to know your tables, because in the future you're not going to be able to be walking around with a calculator in your pocket. How wrong were they?
Excuse me? Like,
I know. I know, right?
well, we're just holding up phones for the listeners.
That's right. What's your favourite food?
I'm probably more into vegetarian type foods.
Yeah. What's your favourite colour?
Oh, orange at the moment.
Does it vary?
Sometimes I liked blue for a long time, but orange and then magenta and teal.
So you're like me. Why do we have to have just one?
Yeah, no.
Anything that's bright and vibrant. And I normally have my nails bright and vibrant.
You
So
got a nice pink. They're gorgeous.
yeah, they're magenta at the moment.
Oh.
And I do bright orange, and brighter the better, because life's too short to be beige is my motto. So the whole house on the outside is turquoise, mauve, and lime green and black outside my house. And then I've got feature walls throughout the house that are those colours as well. But the hallway at the moment has been painted cream because it's an art gallery. So all my bright paintings get hung up on the hallway, so we can't have a clash. Because
No, we got to showcase the artwork.
That's right. Tea, coffee, hot chocolate, or red wine?
Tea, herbal tea.
Yeah. What kind of herbal tea?
I like there's one that I like that's called, it's like strawberry, loganberry.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
Have you tried peppermint and licorice?
Yes, I have. That's quite nice too.
I'm hooked on that. Okay, well, that's got me to the end of my questions. Now, Sue, where can my listeners find you online?
So I'm at authoracademy.com.au.
Yeah.
And I also, and I don't know if I sent you this link, but this is a good one for the listeners, is authoracademy.com.au/gifts, so GIFTS, and there's all kinds of little gifts that they can get on there.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, Sue, I'd like to thank you for your time today. Your bio will be all written up in the comments section, so people will be able to find you online. Thanks for sharing the last 40 minutes with me.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome. And remember, listeners, until next time, you stay resilient.
With over 11 years public speaking expertise, Justine thrives on delivering a powerful and empowering keynote to audiences of all sizes. From a packed room of 500 people to an intimate gathering of 50 people, Justine will command the room with her inspiring journey and engaging anecdotes. Email hello@justinemartin.com.au to book Justine for your next event. We hope you enjoyed the Resilience Mindset podcast. Remember to subscribe to the podcast to get your weekly fix listening to Resilience Queen Justine Martin. Follow Justine on social media at Resilience Mindset or log on to justinemartin.com.au. And until next time, remember, life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient.